Yeah, okay, well, I'm here. Don't know how much longer I'll be here, but I'm here.
Oh, what's going on?
I'm just really disturbed about the events in the last 24 hours.
Good morning, KM6CQ.
Okay, I haven't looked at it since last night.
Well, I don't think we have any right at all to go bomb a stereo. This is not good. This is gonna put us in another world war. This is not good.
Good morning there, Jimmy.
Okay, let's see if this is going to work. This morning, hello, AF6LJ with Oscar doing the heavy lifting.
Oh, yeah, you're nice and loud, Sue. KM6CQ.
Yeah, okay, I was barefoot before, but I'm sorry. I'm more than a little bit concerned about things.
Okay, well, you're entitled to all of this, huh?
I'm also concerned about the fact that when Trump gave the little announcement last night about what was going on, he does not look normal. He's actually not improvising. He looks drugged. Anyway, on that note, it's good to hear everybody this morning. I've just been watching a replay of some stuff from last night. Also found out that Art Bell died last night, just before the program that he founded came on the air.
Oh, it's too bad about Art.
72.
Oh, that's pretty young.
Yeah, but he had COPD, so because he was a smoker for a long time, and so we don't know why he went off to the great beyond.
Oh, that's just too bad. Yeah, it is. We got to talk to him once. Scott and I did. At least the two of us on 150 meters on 1900.
Yeah, I've heard him on the air a lot, and I've talked to him 3 times, but not on the air. I talked to him on his radio show.
Oh, okay. I've listened to it many times over the years.
Yeah, it was the show is still good, but the show when he was doing Coast to Coast, it was just has this remarkable character to it. It's kind of, I don't know. You could tell that you could tell that he was an amateur radio operator. Well, he never kept it any big secret, but the show was very unique. Oh, we're streaming, huh?
Yep, good morning.
Good morning.
I can hear Sue loud, and I can just barely hear you, John.
Yeah, you're not real strong, so the short path isn't good, but man, Sue is like the strongest.
Yeah, she's very loud.
Good morning, Dad.
Good morning, Denny, and you're about the same as John.
I can tell it's human at your voice, but not much confidence.
Oh yeah, well it'll pick up. It usually does. Yes, she is.
Oh, thank you.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah, it's good to hear that Oscar's doing a good job. Maybe I'll hear my voice here in just a second on this here live audio stream.
Okay. Radio on you want?
Ah, this radio does sound good.
What radio is it?
We're on the Swan.
Oh, okay. Sounds good here, too. We're 6CQ.
Oh, thank you.
Is that Bud in there?
I can barely hear Dan or John or Denny. Don't hear Denny at all.
Oh, I can hear you, Bud. Not very loud, but I can hear you.
It hasn't opened up too good yet.
It will.
Oh, good morning, Bud. Good morning, John. I can barely hear you in there. Good morning, Bud. I'm sure it'll pick up. Conditions will get better. That's probably just about ESP.
It usually does pick up.
It's not too bad, though. Sounds pretty decent over here. I'm running the SS9000. That's always nice to see that. I was looking at it this morning thinking, this would be a great radio for somebody that wanted to work with frequency. I don't think you could ever find a radio that would be easier than this one. Yeah, very nice.
Well, the 9000 certainly sounds good.
So simple. Yeah, it is. Easy to operate. I looked at mine as maybe way to turn it on and off. And when you're on the Omni. I'm on the Omni. It's noise reduction on which eyes on. Now the noise level here is really low today for me. It's just a thing that right now.
Yeah, my noise level this morning looks like it's about minus 112 dBm.
I have not heard Jim. Well, I'm hoping we'll be along shortly. Let's go. How was your week, John? Oh, it was good. Nice stuff going along. It didn't turn out quite as good as we would like to. Didn't get that job with the ID, the bid. The guys that got it were 2.1% less than we were. Oh. Yeah, $4,000 less. Which is nothing on, 188,000. Well, I looked around and I found 6,400 and a 6,400 AM split. Yeah, well, I'm glad that you took a look at that because that's a nice American product. Yeah, I have one concern with it, and that's how it interfaces. It says wood, and the cat plugs into your computer, into the network, and I don't have a network. Okay, we got it. It's actually in it. My case, first computer's right here, and I use a inexpensive gigabit switch that has like five ports or something on it. I just plug it directly into the switch, and then the computer's plugged into the switch as well. So that's all there is to it. It's real simple. I was concerned about that because I want my cable connection to the other here. I was wondering how to do that. Well, the computer has, you have to have control of the computer. You have the screen in front of you, so you would be able to do that, right? I don't quite follow you there. Did you say the computer is right next to you? Either the laptop or the desktop. Yeah, you'd want to use the desktop and as big a screen as you could muster. I would think at least 24-inch. I got a mouse a little smaller. Okay, well, that'll work. Yeah. And the only use of the rub is I turn on the internet on when do that. Yeah, as long as the computer's right there, you can just plug a switch in, gives you lots of ports to plug other things into. That goes wireless from the computer to power. Okay, but this will need to be, well, I guess you could do it wireless, but this will need to be plugged into the computer via, well, either directly or via a switch. It works better for the end if you use a switch. They suggest it. Okay, very good. And which one were you selecting? I haven't decided which one, either the 6400 or the 6400. The one that's got the screen already on it. I don't understand about that. I don't know what it is that much yet. Well, if you want the feel of the knobs and everything, you have to and ready to go. You still have everything else. Dan, to confirm all this, that my understanding is the M version just gives you controls on the outside of the display. And gives you, I guess, can operate it standalone with the M. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, hello, you're loud.
You are new to K4CCF.
Yeah, they keep telling me I'm loud.
Really? I can barely hear you, Denny. Oh, you're at S7 to me, Denny. I would say S5 here, and on my background noise is S4. Okay, so thanks for the report. Yeah. Now we can pull it out, so that should be ready. We're a little long yet, I think. Yeah, Dan is not strong either, Dan, or Bud. Yeah, Bud is on hospital today. I was sitting on 20 when you guys came on. I was sitting there and I could hear buckshot and one of you guys. And the only station I could find was down about 804. Well, the guys were on 22. Maybe you just didn't catch them when they were transmitting. Yeah. I couldn't be the one down in 04. Oh, that'd be horrible. That would be really bad. That would be a serious amount of time there. Strangle, but I couldn't find the station that was doing it. It was kicking down to, so it couldn't be far. Oh, that was funny, though. You got somebody closer than you think.
good to hear you this morning, Jim. A little sadness in my life. I'm waiting for event number 3 to happen.
Anything you can share?
Yeah, well, bad things always seem to come in threes. And the first was Trump deciding that he needed to go break some things and kill some Russians. And I'm really against that, especially since the last 3 times there's been poison gas attacks in Syria. It's been the rebels that have done it, and the UN's verified it all 3 times. The other thing is Art Bell died yesterday, and that yesterday evening, and that hit me with great sorrow. So I'm waiting for number 3. Let's just get it over with.
Okay, well, I hope your prophecy is not true.
Yeah, me too. Otherwise, things are okay, and nothing new to report on the YouTube front right now.
Well, on a related note, grandson deployed as a result of Trump's decision.
Oh, crap.
He's safe, but he's still affected by it.
It seems all this country wants to do anymore is just, go around killing women and babies and breaking stuff and destroying the environment, all to keep the bomb builders happy.
Don't hear it here, Denny. Must be somebody close to you. Yeah, maybe.
I can hear you a little bit better, Denny. I don't think Denny's talking to me yet. How was your week, Jim? How was your week, Jim? What's his name wants to know.
Busy. All of my weeks are busy. I've got a problem with the TV antenna. And I took the dang thing down twice this week to see if I couldn't resolve the issue, and it looks like I'm going to take it down a 3rd time. I think I know what's going on. Just a matter of getting everything reconfigured. We lost the ability to get channel 6, which is PBS. It's lost channel 10. And 1 or 2 other stations that we watch on a regular basis. And in reconfiguring it, I managed to screw up not only the antenna but also the television. So I've been struggling to recover from that debacle.
What actually happened, do you suppose?
Well, I think the initial problem was that some corrosion got into connectors out of the antenna, the feed line connectors. I went out and I cleaned all of those things. And something I did, I can't remember why I decided I needed to rescan the TV. But what I figured out was that when I cleaned the connectors, I messed something up out there, so the TV wasn't able to see some of the channels that we ordinarily like to watch, and I mentioned PBS and Channel 10. And one of the problems seems to be that with dual antennas out there, I don't have the phasing right between the 2 antennas, and I'm getting some signal cancellation. So I took some steps yesterday to at least test that theory. The theory seems to hold. So now I can get channel 6 a little bit, but cannot get channel 10. So today I'm going to take the antennas down a 3rd time and put identically linked cables between the two antennas to the splitter and see if that doesn't resolve the phasing issue.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I get tired of taking the dang thing down. It's doable. It's not easy for me to do it by myself. I just really put it off as long as I humanly can each time.
Hey, you can put your little low-pass filter up there at the antenna, too, and get, maybe get a little better performance out of your preamp.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Good idea, Sue. Yeah, this is the perfect time to do that.
I mean, since you have to engage in all that work anyway.
Good idea.
Yeah, thank you, Sue.
Yeah, just stick it right there on the output of the splitter. Since the splitter is a combiner now.
Yeah, it's a combiner, it's not a splitter, you're right.
So anyway, folks, it's a beautiful, clear day outside here in beautiful downtown South Park. It was warm-ish yesterday, but earlier in the week it actually got up to 95 down here.
95?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
It got up to 65 here.
We had one day of 72 earlier in the week. I think it got to 70 yesterday.
I think we got to 50.
And I enjoyed listening to 160 last Wednesday. It was most entertaining. Thank you for the entertainment, folks. And if I'm not mistaken, I think, didn't you have your transverter fired up there, John?
Yeah, I was using the mixer.
Yeah, it sounded good.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the parts from Poland. CXL will be interesting to see the next iteration. But I might not get that May 1st. I mean, it took a week to get to New York Customs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's probably good, yeah. I'm glad it worked. I found some other issues that I will take care of when I take it apart to make those changes.
Is the upper sideband energy that I saw on the SDR, is that just a characteristic of the KWS-1?
It's there on most transceivers. I'm looking at mine right here, but it's way down. That really isn't part of the issue. The fact that the super low was strong enough that you can see it. Right now, I'm looking at it on the SS9000, and it's about 45, 50 dB down.
Well, I could see it, John, but I couldn't copy it.
Yeah, because it's really not what you think it is, yeah. The only radio that I have that looks like a brick wall is the Shannon running pure signal, and it's just straight up and down.
All right, and that's what you switched to later in the evening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell a difference, because it was just, there was nothing, zero, nada.
Yeah, the digital exciters have got they're real good when it comes to sideband and carrier suppression.
Oh, yeah.
And when I walked in the room before, the switches turned and the knobs pulled, it sounded like Jenny is teetering on the edge.
Be back, yes, subject.
I'm trying to teeter in, but I didn't fall around. So the experience with the toy SDR, the frustrating experience with the toy SDR has convinced you that you really need to get an SDR? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm thinking of at least
You know, I've witnessed a similar situation several years ago. You know, and what I'm alluding to is the difficulty with your toy SDR has persuaded you that you need to get a real SDR. So here's the backstory. Okay, how badly was I doubling?
Just a little bit. He's still talking.
And I did find that
that's not bad. But not bad considering a nice product USA made. So, and it's a 100-watt radio too. Yeah, it's a 100-watt radio. Yeah. Two receivers. Yeah. You know, I don't use more than that myself. I know I can. Oh yeah, we've been investigating that deal.
well, good for you. I'm not at all tempted.
Investigating, haven't got anything, done anything yet. They'll start shipping them next month. So you plunk down a little bit of cash now and then have to plunk down a lot more later. But I got plenty of projects to do, no problem. I don't see it too much time in here. Oh, I was stuck in there a little more at first. I had to do that. Yeah, W6BAX, Placer Bill. W6BAX, hard to see. KM6CQ, and everybody's signal is going away.
Hey, for DCF.
I don't know what the deal is. It looks like things are changing.
You're still 2 bands 7, so good copy still. The other guy was better. A little bit down. It should open up pretty quick. I mean, just barely a good copy. Buddy, in there? I think yes, if I was in there, yeah, I'm in here and I can barely copy John and Denny, but the signals are improving. So here's him pretty good, still pretty good. There he is. Yeah, I can hear you, bud. You're not strong, but I can hear you. Yeah, same here. Ditto's over here, John. I copy that. Hey, things are getting better. We're coming up.
Okay, I'm back, but I'm not sure if I can be heard anyway.
Yeah, you're getting better too, Dan.
Okay, yeah, I was on the phone for a little bit, but I'm back.
Oh, okay. Yes, you are, Dan.
Everybody does sound a little louder.
If this is a contest, you're all outside. Yeah, see, I didn't really copy what Denny's going to do about an SDR. He said something in there. What about the new SDR? I asked what Denny's going to do about the SDR. Oh, he's looking at the Flex 6400 or 6400M. Oh, good for him. Good for him. He's coming into the real world. Yeah, I think that's, if you're going to pick one, that's a good choice.
Did I hear Denny bought an SDR radio?
Yeah. Did you put a few bucks down, Denny? No, I haven't yet. That was asking you first. I was going to look into it further. The starter guide or setup guide and all that is downloadable. Yeah, okay. All that, so I was going to delve into that first. But I wasn't sure about the network, so that's what kept me from pulling the trigger. Oh, and congratulations for coming out of the ancient world. Dan, do you use a switch on yours, in front of your flex?
No, I don't. All I do is plug it into the back of my, well, I guess I do. I do have an internet switch, and that's only because the switch in the router itself doesn't have enough ports. So if he's not using all the ports on his router, he can just use the router for a switch. He won't need a switch unless he's out of ports.
Yeah, if you got, in my case, the router's on the other side of the room, and I have two switches, one there and smart switch there, and then just a dumb gigahertz switch right next to the computer that everything else plugs in here.
Well, I didn't hear what Denny bought. Did he buy an Anon or did he buy a Flex? I'm not sure what I heard.
Oh, 6400. 6400 is what he's looking at. He hadn't pulled the plug.
Oh, okay. Well, good for him. Either way, I don't think you could go wrong. They're both nice radios.
Yeah, I agree. Either way, it's, they're good choices, and he just had to figure out which one he'd want to do, the M version with the knobs and the display, or the version that, like you and I have.
400, the entry-level model?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Well, that's just kind of a personal decision, I mean, we think one way, and but if somebody wants the knobs and the other way, there's nothing wrong with that, too.
That's a smart deal for Flex to offer that, and even Anon has their little direct interface now, too, if you want it. Everybody. You are? Yeah, you're way down now, John, and Dan has dropped, and Sue has dropped, too.
You still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you pretty good.
Can you hear me, Denny?
Bud
just asked if you can hear him, and surprisingly, I just heard Bud.
Your signal's coming up here. So good, slightly, Bud. Bud, he said you were there slightly. Roger, yeah, you took a fade for me.
Yeah, well, I can hear Bud pretty good now.
Denny? Yeah, I believe it. And you dropped John by your okay coffee and generally really good coffee. Yeah, there's a difference in the angle of radiation, I think. I think so. I think Denny's signal's coming up a bit here.
Well, Bud, you've definitely come up, so you're sounding good.
And Dan is a little bit more than Bud, but not much.
Well, I'm sorry, Denny. You're pretty faint, too. Usually you're pretty loud, but you're kind of faint this morning also.
I've never quite heard it like this. Well, remember when we used to say at 25 minutes till the hour, the switch would turn on? Yeah, that's what it used to be. That's probably the same time of year. Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. KM6CQ.
Over here, too.
Well, Denny, if you got my text this morning, you could stream and hear the audio on this end.
Sure, you can be net control.
I switched radios. I needed the loop antenna to hear you guys a little better.
I hear you fine.
So now we're loopy?
Yeah, now we're loopy.
Loopy.
Anyway, I'm here. Sort of.
We're very good. You're over at 7.
Yeah, the Swan does sound better.
Yeah, I think so. Is this the ICOM?
Yeah, this is the ICOM. I can make it sound almost as good as the Swan, but and I might even do it.
You still have the best signal in here, Sue.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I mean, good enough. It was great. No problem.
I just like a little wider bandwidth.
Yeah, well, that always helps just a little. Yeah, it should be easy to do with that radio. Yeah.
Well, it's not as easy as you think. This doesn't have the audio equalization stuff in it like the 756 Pro and Pro 2 and Pro 3 and Pro God knows what does. This radio just has a bass and a treble control to transmit audio.
Oh.
Okay.
That's more than I have.
And it doesn't need any bass. It sounds fine bass-wise, but it could use a little bit of touching up on the high end.
Yeah, the low end sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
does. That's what she was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, the low end is fine.
Sounds good. All right, headed for my second cup of coffee.
Look at all the other radios you have as you use them, and it will open your eyes. Yeah, I suppose it will, you know. I'll probably be shocked.
Well, I'm going to get out of here, folks. It's, I'm a little agitated, and I'm not really, not really into this morning. I'm sorry. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, provided that we actually have still have a country left. After last night, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I'm concerned also, too. I'm very apprehensive of what the Russians are going to do. Like brinkmanship now.
Sue, I understand the distraction. I was distracted last week and just couldn't focus on the conversation, so go do something fun, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Everybody take care. It's been fun this morning, so have a good one. Anyway, I'll probably keep the stream going. Take care, AF6LJ signing.
Be looking for you in the morning, Lord willing.
Okay, 73, Sue.
Sue, I recommend Chardonnay therapy.
Hey, Sue, hope you feel better.
Well, actually, Chardonnay therapy, that might work, although I've kind of given up on the alcohol. I'm probably, at least for the time being, it's made me entirely too fat. I think I'm going to opt for some cannabis therapy today.
Wow, you really popped up, Denny. What happened?
I didn't do anything. I just opened my fat mouth.
And I left.
Open up, Denny.
Wow, so did you, John. You got loud.
You're just a couple minutes past that old mark.
Yeah. Thank you. Take care, Sue.
Yeah, see you guys later.
See you later, Sue. Have a good day.
And you're in there too, Dan. Good morning.
Yes, you are. And oh my God, Jim, my ears.
Yeah,
What you mean?
everybody came up.
I'm up here now.
Yeah, huge difference.
Big Lee, John.
Fairly new hearing aids.
And you still need the hearing aids?
No, I need them for the high frequencies.
Well, it's interesting. I just walked outside, and we're at sunrise.
But the highs, that's where I was lacking. That's where they're set for.
John started talking about the switch and woke it up.
I got Diane a hearing aid about a year ago, and I watched the lady, set the audio contour, and it was the same thing. She put some emphasis in the highs and not so much in the lows, and it really made a big difference.
Yeah, that's what they did to mine. That's the way the curve goes, and I can really tell the difference. Too many jet engines screaming over the years and firearms going off and things.
10 over now, Denny.
It was too many weekends spent at the Fillmore.
Oh, yeah, that racing. That would do it. Oh, well.
Hey, you guys.
Audio world, sort of.
Denny, I was going to tell you a story a while ago.
Oh, yeah, go. Shoot.
Okay, it's a parallel to your experience here. And the background, of course, is after having your frustrating experience with the toy SDR, you made the entirely logical conclusion that you need to buy a real SDR. So put that aside as context.
Okay, I will.
All right, about 10 years ago, a friend of mine came to the track with us, and I took him for a ride in the race car. And the violence of the acceleration and the braking and the cornering got to him, and he was thoroughly nauseated when we got done with the ride, and he sat motionless in a chair for a couple of hours recovering from the ride. And from that experience, he made the entirely logical conclusion that he needed to go get his own race car. You see the parallels?
Yes, I do. I see it.
Congratulations, Eddie. I think you're probably making the right decision there.
Well, I'm not getting any younger, you know, and so whatever toys I get to play with yet before I have to go to the big radio place where there's no antenna hooks up, and that's the hell of it. I'm kind of really thinking about it, so.
I don't think heaven has CCNRs.
I don't know if it'll be heaven, though. It's like the amateur went to hell, and the devil who showed him this big radio station with every piece of modern gear he could want and huge amplifiers, and he could work the world any day. And then he asked the devil where he plugs it in, and the devil says, "Well, that's the hell of it."
That's pretty good.
Yep, that's the hell of it. No place to plug it all in, but you can sit and look at it. Yep. So anyway, I'm feeling good, and so far every day is a blessing.
It is anyway, yeah.
Especially what she said about Mr. Bell this morning. He's younger than me. And let's see, my diamond birthday is coming up, so that's 75th, isn't it? And that'll be in June.
Oh, that's great, Denny.
Thank you.
You're the trailblazer for all of us.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of leading the fleet here.
I think John, Jim, and me, we're kind of tailing behind.
Yeah, you're my tail end Charlie's, I guess.
I think you're number 2. Isn't that right, Bud? Yeah. Wherever maintenance into the quad.
Well, if Bud does it, then I'll do it, and then you can decide whether or not you want to come along, John.
I'm actually 1 month from today. How many months? 1 month from today, I hit the 7-0. All right.
Oh my gosh, that's a celebration day. Or a wake, whatever. But yeah, congratulations, Bud. So your birthday.
I'm thinking probably to get rid of boat anchors.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to work on. I wish we had swap meets a little closer here.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Not like you down there. You got a couple big ones in Sacramento, and there's always, I don't know about the foothills anymore if those are being held, but.
You don't see them, very often, and typically your base to draw from isn't like it is when you use the internet. The downside is you got to package everything to.
Yeah, and some of those are, huge, like the Helicopters SX-73 and DX-100 and things like that.
Yeah, that will be difficult to move, like the DX-100, I think, would be a pickup only.
Yeah, pickup only. I can't even take it up to the swaps in Medford because I can't. Once I borrow a couple neighbors to load it in the truck and put it on the tailgate and say, "Here you are, you bring your own dolly."
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to move that. Boy, I was so happy to get rid of that last 100-pound radio, the 200V.
Yeah, that was a godsend. But that was such a job to get, to get it crated and everything.
It was a pain, but it was worth it. The gentleman that has it likes it, and in fact, he bought a 100V and another 75A4 to go with that.
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say. It's a wonderful sounding radio, and of course phasing rigs are. And
oh boy, but I was so happy to get rid of it.
I know you were. I was kind of pleased too, because I wasn't technical enough to make my.
Well, you know, the base of the people that are going to be buying these old radios is diminishing.
Yeah, the base of people that will buy them. There's some are still into, you know, Electric Radio Magazine still has a big following, and they're still making it, you know, still printing. And I've got several years worth of that magazine because it's really interesting. It's a little like the old, it's smaller than the old QST was. Old ones. I still got a large collection of those, but they're, you know, for nostalgia, I read one once in a while. When I was, you know, as a 60s era, 40s era baby, early 40s, I love the 50s and the 60s kid. So I have all those. Excuse me.
Well, for me, one set of radios that from the 50s is enough for me. It keeps me busy enough playing with that, and now I've got another way to use them, you know, on 160. That's kind of a lot of fun, too.
Yeah, that's great, John. That's great, I think. You're the man. But I still enjoy my KWM2 and my 30L1, which I should use more. Also, the Helicopters pair I should use more. And I am going to keep the TR7. I'm going to get it fixed. And I will probably part with my Heathkit SB102 line, which I have just about every piece of that except the cut transverter.
Well, see, all that'll be not too bad to ship.
No, that's light, you know. I don't know about my Oscar. That should probably be sold, but that's such a nice, wonderful amplifier, and it still works like new. Oh well, such is life. Decisions.
That'll be, you know, that'll be easy. Or your SX73 will probably be easy. Heathkits probably won't bring that much, but I would think you could sell them.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem selling those. There's always people, there's still Heath collectors. Now, there's people worse off than me, like Jim's friend there in Chapel Hill, I think it is. Fellow I got parts for my DX, whatever that was, my Apache, that it had all the kits on built and even had a Chippewa, so. A lot more than me.
With him in a while. I don't know what or how he's doing.
Yeah, I wish him the best because he's a nice fella.
Absolutely. I had a Seneca that had been butchered, and someone had put in some type of function switch that bore no relation to the original function switch, and the Seneca just didn't work at all. And I contacted him, and he cut a function switch out of a spare Seneca he had, sent it to me, I wired it up, and everything was fine.
Isn't that wonderful? I love the way that tunes with that loop. I got one from Parsons. I still have the letter of originality that it came from the guy that wrote the book on Heathkits, and it worked really good. I didn't know what I used it on, but, you know, when I fired it up, cleaned everything up, you know, and checked all the tubes and went through it, it fired right up and loaded right up.
What was that, on 6 or 2 meters?
6 and 2.
Okay, I remember the name.
It had the tuning in it was a big loop that you swung through the through the ether in there.
That's how some of the old aircraft stuff tuned in the VHF range.
Yeah, it worked. I was so fascinated with that. There was a while I was trying to get all the old Heathkits, and I dropped it off. I still have some manuals. Like for that little Mohican, I have the manual for that. Yet why, I don't know. And other things I discover in my library.
Now, there may be somebody out there on eBay that's looking for one of those manuals, Denny.
Yeah, that could be. I don't even remember if it was a reprint or original.
I know I got a lot of manuals that no longer have radios.
Yeah, I do too. I have a set of national manuals.
I'm going to get rid of some manuals myself, some technical manuals.
And I don't have enough bookcase space anymore. That's the one problem. I have two large, tall, one they're not real wide, but they fit. You'd probably see them in the shack here, and one here and one in the outer shop, and they're both stuffed full. Anyway, such is life. Whiskey Baker 7 Echo Golf, Mount Shasta, state of Jefferson.
W60AX in Placerville.
K4CCF.
KM6CQ.
You guys hear that on the on the November ballot we may get to vote whether to split California into 3 states?
Yeah, I heard that. I almost fainted.
Yeah, it's on the news, but there was a professor from a university, I guess around here on the news, and was saying that he doesn't think Congress will approve it.
I think go at least 2 states.
Well, what are the 3 sections going to be? Let me guess. You'll have the illegal section, you'll have the liberal media section, and then you'll have the people that get up every day and go to work and make this country work.
Well, I think what they ought to do is divide it into 2 sections, and the northern and the southern, and then wherever they divide the line, give the rest back to Mexico.
Yeah. State of Jefferson, one of them.
Yeah, I go for that.
Yeah, they can cut that off anywhere between here and Sacramento.
Yeah,
I'd like it to go a little bit further south.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably won't do that, though.
Like
But,
to see it,
yeah, that'd be all right, too.
Hurts the more conservative communities along the eastern side.
Yeah, that's true. Sacramento itself is pretty leftist, but...
They ought to get the eastern side to Nevada.
But yeah, and they could pick up, the southern counties in Oregon, too, but that was the original thought, But the original map was the northern counties in California, counties in Oregon.
Well, it doesn't have to be contiguous. You guys, the north section, should also take the San Joaquin Valley. Claim it.
Danny, that Dan and myself would feel a lot better about being that further away from California, right? Right, Dan?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It couldn't hurt, right?
Absolutely. I agree with Dan.
Well, we just moved the line right past Forest Hill and Placerville.
There you go.
That'd be okay, too.
We're going to pull up Forest Hill and the eastern part of California, where the rightist side, the common sense side, and actually they could leave Mount Shasta out of it itself. This little city here, this little town is pretty leftist, because everybody that migrates from the Bay Area comes up into this area.
Well, you guys would want to keep the farmlands of the San Joaquin and Kern County down there. That could be like kind of an embassy.
We could have Modoc County, of course, and Sierra County, and all that. Maybe.
It really won't matter because, they're going to, the ones that have the greatest numbers will be making the decision.
That's true. We won't have a thing to say about it, as always. And so I doubt if it would go through, and it would be an answer to a prayer.
I think John's right, because the Democrats are not going to give up their reason they can win votes in the national elections. And if they divide it up...
Yeah, they want the money.
I didn't see anything come of it except a little article in the newspaper.
Yep, if they divide it up, the Electoral College will go away, and the Democrats are not going to allow that.
Yeah, and if they don't have enough, they just redistrict again.
Hey, Jerry Brown running for governor again?
Oh, he wants to run for president.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If he does, he won't get my vote.
No, mine either.
Oh, wait.
Not that my vote will count, but not getting it.
I think what they ought to do is put Jerry Brown, well, I best not say what I think they ought to do.
I am surprised that he said, okay, National Guard, you can go down and help with these restrictions. But it was shocking. I almost fainted.
Guys, I need to bail. I'll see you tomorrow. K4CCF. Everybody have a great day.
Oh, okay, Jim. You take care. And hi to Diane, and we'll look for you in the morning.
All righty. Thank you.
Yep. Take care.
7-3.
Have a nice day, Jim. Good to hear you this morning. KM6CQ.
Well, it's about time for me to bail too. I'll get some breakfast here. So, well, if they are 7-3, we will.
And we'll piggyback on Bud and do that too.
Okay, 7-3s, guys. Have a good one. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You bet, John. And we're going to read a little more stuff on the Flex today, so chance. Whiskey Double Baker 7 Echo Golf Mount Shasta, State of Jefferson will be clear, and wishing everybody a fine day. 73's all.
Okay, 73 Danny and W6PJD, part 2 will be clear.
Hey, 7-3, guys.
See you later, Bud. See you, Denny. Talk to you guys in the morning. Have a good day.
You betcha. 73's.
Oh, you're about S9 there, Dan.
Yeah, you're 10 over, John. Sounding very good.
Yeah, my little SS9000 here.
Really? Yeah, it sounds very nice. Sounds very good.
Yeah, it's a good transceiver to have in the middle.
Yeah, and it looks good too. I always like the looks of that rig.
It is nice. It operates really nicely with the changes I've made to it, which are pretty modest. It makes it a better transceiver.
Yeah, you'll have to go back to the part of the stream like right now or something, and listen to it later so you can hear how good the audio sounds.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that would be fun. And that other one you sent me was really nice.
Yeah, it works pretty well.
Yeah, I was very impressed with how well that worked.
Yeah, I got the gamers are doing it online. And I thought, oh, well, I could multi-purpose this and do something positive with it.
Okay.
And I was just looking on my YouTube account, and it looks like that it just saves them. Every time I do a stream, it just saves the video so you can go back and look at it.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah. So I suppose at some point I'll need to go through there and delete them.
Yeah, I would think so.
I don't need them stacking up, but...
You tell me how to get there? I think you already did.
Yeah, I sent another text out this morning.
Okay.
So it'll be there. I could tell Tanner just came back from outside. He's all cold.
Oh, is it cold over there?
Yeah, it's below freezing this morning, and Tanner just came in the radio room. I guess S let him out because he's cold. His coat is cold.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what the temperature, probably in the low 40s here.
We had 27 yesterday.
70?
Yeah, we had 27 yesterday and about 70 degrees for the high, so it's good dynamic.
That's nice when it warms up like that.
It is. I think they're only looking at like around 65 today. It's going to be cooler.
Yeah, and then tomorrow night, maybe a little more rain and snow.
Monday's going to be snow.
Yep, got it.
So, we'll take it as it comes, I guess. We don't have a choice.
No, we really don't have a choice. You're right.
Other than that, things are going good. I pretty much got over my cold, but it tried to come back last night. For some reason, I coughed a lot last night when I was sleeping.
Oh, that stinks. So I hope it goes away and stays away.
Yeah, I may take it easy today just to make sure. I was going to go out and cut up a tree when I saw, but now I'm thinking, maybe I'll just take it easy. If it's starting to come back, I don't need to go wear myself out.
No, you don't want to start that over again.
Yeah, it was ugly, but it felt really good yesterday.
Oh, good. That's interesting. Denny is going to look into the 6400 and the M version as well.
Hey, I was surprised to hear him say that. I bet maybe not as surprised as I thought I would be because He had been talking about it. I just thought that was farther off in the distance. He hadn't got his little dongle to work yet.
Yeah. Well, you might as well take that next step, if it interests you, because it really is so much better.
Well, you know what happens once you get to use a dongle or something and you see what you've been missing, that doesn't last very long. Jim's stretching it out a little bit, but he's on the way too.
Oh no. He's definitely a hard sell, but it's wonderful.
It is, and the entry-level models, I don't really think you'll be able to tell the difference in performance in the top high-end models anyway. And Denny doesn't need two separate receivers, two ADCs.
Yeah, it's kind of like me. I mean, I don't really utilize what this is capable of. It's nice to have that and know it's there, but it's certainly not a necessity at all.
Well, for the most part, I use it just like this, and then if I'm doing something else other than something like this, I'll use the second one to look around on as a spotting receiver, but it's not necessary. Once my hex beam gets up, I may find that I leave it on 6 meters a lot.
I've tried that, but boy, it's really rare to find anything on 6. Nobody's really transmitting there. So, yeah, it's for me, I just wait till there's a contest and everybody comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I understand that. That makes sense. That usually turns a dead band into an active band.
Yeah, you get to see what, under average conditions most of the time, what could happen if people actually got in there and talked.
Yeah, I've read some stuff that suggests that sometimes there might only be less than 100 people actually using the HF bands in the United States on any given day.
Really?
All transmitting at the same time, that is.
Yeah, especially today, especially with the low cycle. I was looking at 17 yesterday, and it's like 1 or 2 people, and really low signal levels, really lousy. 20 meters probably had, about 30 signals I could see. And, 40 had a few more. Of course, 8160 had none that you could see, but yeah, there really wasn't that many people that at a given time that you could actually hear from their location, no matter where it is.
Well, let's just, for the sake of discussion, let's say there's, 25 signals we can see on the air right now, and divide the United States into 4 regions, and so you'd have maybe 100 Qs on 75 meters right now across the country.
Yeah, I'm only looking at my own signal here, so I don't know, but that seems reasonable.
You would think with, what are we at, 800,000 amateurs? A lot of that is just paper count. A lot of them probably just have HTs. I look in our club, a lot of people have VHF, UHF, and there's probably 10% of us that do HF.
Is it really like that?
I'm just kind of guessing, and that's based off of the membership that I see that shows up on breakfast on Saturday mornings.
Oh, that's funny. That's really a surprise.
Well, the guys that show up on breakfast, they've all got their HTs, and they're interested in DMR and the analog VHF. There's only a few of us that discuss HF. Everything else is about VHF and UHF.
That's probably a good cross-section of society. They don't see the magic in the upper frequencies, but they want to be in touch with everybody locally?
I kind of suspect that. You know, our club is 300 members, and about 110 will show up on Saturday morning, so that's what I see.
Yeah, that's a good point, but I didn't realize there were that many amateurs in the country.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's been a big push for the VECs in the last 10 years.
Okay, because the last time I looked, I thought there was only like 300,000.
I don't want to say it's hit a million because I don't know, but I think it's around 800,000. And you know, it's trending upwards.
Yeah, at times it looks like there's a lot of users on HF, but of course, if the conditions were better, there would be more users.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of it. A lot of times you can tell the band's open just by going to where all the FT8 activity is and looking to see where it's coming from. And of course, you know, you can work weaker signals with that, but the band is open a lot of the times, and you know, there's just not a lot of sideband activity on it.
Yeah, that is interesting, and I do see that. You're absolutely right.
I think a lot of it changed when the internet became mainstream. It certainly killed a lot of the repeater traffic.
You say it did kill a lot of the repeater traffic?
I think it did. I think when the internet came out, in a couple of years after it became mainstream, the repeater traffic really died down.
Yeah. See, I really don't have the interest in that.
Yeah, I noticed that because I was trucking all those years, so I always had something on in the truck.
Yeah, you were, and then during that period of time, we were all using 6 meters, which was kind of an unused band, still is, especially in repeater areas. So it was kind of a little bit. Well, it wasn't like HF, but it felt more private.
It felt a lot more like HF because basically we were all a bunch of HF operators hanging out on 6 meters. And then there was the 10-meter link.
Yeah, we even had a link on 10, and you could also patch 6 to 2, and a lot of options there. It was all fun to do, and when I was out running around, that was a fun thing.
It was, and then the other part about that was if somebody was willing to go through the trouble to get 6 meters going in their mobile, you usually wanted to talk to them.
Yeah, but it wasn't all that simple. You pretty much had to have a piece of commercial gear to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And the guys you would talk to were other technicians or other HF operators that were able to get a rig down on the 6 meters, and it was always pretty good.
Yeah, it certainly divided. It wasn't like 2 meters at all.
No, there was no phone patches, so that was nice.
No, we did have them available. We didn't use them. I had a Marty 1000 on the one in Pollock Pines.
No, we did it the right way. We used page boys.
Yeah, we had pager system. Yeah, I had that too. That was part of the Marty.
That was fun. Remember Esther used to get on? I'd page her and she'd get on.
Yeah, I remember it.
That was fun.
Yeah, we sent it out 2-tone sequential.
That was all before we had cell phones.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, you could get out there. Where were you? Bennigan or Williams or something like that you'd call?
Yeah, I would send out the 2-tone sequential. Pager would go off. And Mrs. Baker would get on the air.
She knew where you were?
Yeah. I had that pager set up. I had the page boy behind the TV set in the family room, out of sight. And then when I sent out the two-tone, that pager would go off, and then she would know to turn on the 6 meters.
Yeah, that was a 2-meter pager. It was on 147.585.
I don't remember where it was at, but it worked.
Yeah, I set them up. They were on our 2-meter frequency. So that's pretty cool because we had, I think that came out of Scott's place. I don't remember, one of the two. But it had to be a high enough level that a pager would work down in Sacramento. So that was a trick in itself.
Oh, was it on 147.525?
Yeah.
I think I barely remember trying that because I think it had voice capability. So I think I remember transmitting into it with voice, listening to myself.
Yeah, 147.585 I think is where we were.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun.
Yeah, it was all things we were exploring and trying out new stuff. And I still have my interface sitting here. I just haven't thrown it in the trash yet.
Well, that page boy is probably packed away in a box somewhere.
None of that stuff is around here anymore. I have a Marty 500. I don't think I ever have that. I got that from somebody else, not sitting there. But I'm going to probably toss that anyways.
Yeah, there's no reason to ever use those again.
I can't see one.
Nope.
I mean, I don't even have a regular telephone. I got VoIP.
We're all modern hams. We text each other, hey, get on the air.
Yep.
How else would you do it?
It really is nice.
Well, there's us holdouts that call CQ, but, others that are losing their hair, that doesn't work.
Yeah, well, I get out there and definitely call CQ.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, that's fun. I got out on 40 meters the other day. Talked to a guy up in Vancouver. That was a nice conversation.
Yeah, you always appreciate those, when you get like an old-time rag chew going.
Yep, and then he had to take off because I guess they have some kind of a thing up in Canada on 7100. They've got a different band than we do. So they have like a net on 7100.
Yeah, there's been times during the winter when propagation's unexpected, and I'll hear there's Canada nets in the CW portion of our band.
Yeah, that's right on the edge of it.
And what usually happens is they can't hear each other, but I can hear them all 10 over.
Okay, I listened a little bit. I went up or down there and listened, and I couldn't hear very many people talking. They all seemed to be having trouble hearing themselves.
Yeah, just depends on propagation. When I can hear them, they can't hear each other.
I wonder if the communications isn't better down here in, United States as you move further south.
Well, when you read about the guys that talk about living closer to the magnetic north, they all say that it's not near as good as it is down farther to the south.
Yeah, when I get on and listen to the guys in the morning sometimes on 40 meters working DX, the guys that do the best are in the southern United States, like Florida, southeastern, Florida, parts of Texas, that they seem to do very well.
Yep, I was going to say the same thing. On a daily basis, the best signals come out of Texas and Florida, right down in there. And probably the other southern states, there's just not as many hams in them.
Yeah, but there's a good number, and I mean, I actually hear the northern East Coast actually works pretty well, even down into from there down to Australia and over to Japan and the South Pacific.
Yeah, I agree. lot of big stations out of Pennsylvania and Ohio. They do pretty well too.
Yep.
But you listen to the guys, and like you talk to the guys in Alaska, and they feel lucky when they get down into the southern states. They typically don't have that.
Yeah, I don't hear very many KL7s. Really rare to hear them. It's nice, but boy, I used to work more of them, but the bands were in better shape then.
Yeah, when you talk to the KL7s or you read what they write, they don't have very good propagation up there because they're so far north. It's not, you always wonder, what would it be like to be up there? Would it be quiet, and would you really be able to work everybody? And it's not their experience.
Isn't it noisier?
It probably is. You would think with all the aurora and everything going on up there, and that's where you're so close to magnetic north where it's all coming and going, I think it would be noisier.
Yeah, you'd think so. I'm happy where I am.
I think probably as far as being a ham propagation-wise, Texas, right in there somewhere, is probably the best spot. If you want to work a lot of people, North Dakota obviously is the best spot. Everybody wants to work North Dakota.
Everybody wants to work North Dakota?
Oh, yeah. Those guys hide. They have to. They won't allow their spots to go online. As soon as they get spotted online or something, they get flooded. Everybody wants a confirmed contact with them.
I just walked out of the radio room and walked inside. I heard this banging, and I thought it was one of the kids on the garage door, but it was actually Marilyn doing something in the kitchen.
The band on my end looks very nice today, John. It's been quiet all morning. Signals came up pretty good about a half hour ago. And I guess I'm right around 100 and minus 112 dBm in there or somewhere like that. It's very nice here.
I noticed it was very quiet. Let me look here just a second. Yeah, my noise level's minus 105, which is good for this band.
Yeah, especially, what was it the other night we were talking, it was raining, you had 10 over? I guess that was Wednesday night on 160 meters.
Yeah, it was really high, so yeah, it's definitely good.
Yeah, it's nice when it's like this. I don't think I ever had it quite like this in Spanish Springs.
Oh, really? Yeah, you always put out a pretty good signal from there.
I don't remember it being. I guess I kind of remember it being about the same noise level when everything was right.
Okay, you had a higher noise level. Your signal level was a little better, but I think your antenna was a little higher.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that can be fixed. It also probably depends where the antenna is being fed to.
Yeah, you were running like 3 dB more power, and then the antenna height was maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah. Right now, since I changed the direction of my feed line, Sue has really picked up to where I always had a problem working her.
Well, that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that would have made any difference where you feed it.
Well, things aren't perfect with the antenna, John, so it probably distorts the pattern.
Yeah, who knows what's going on? It's pretty close to the ground.
Maybe in another 5 years we'll have an antenna analyzer that uses optical triangulation and can present it to us on a screen. We just look through a viewfinder and see what's really going on.
I was listening on, it was 40 meters the other morning, and there was a guy in, I think it's VK3MO, if you look that guy up. This guy has a rhombic. I don't remember. It's like 130 feet up, I think. And I think he said it was thousands of feet long. He had the strongest signal on the band that I could see. Really strong here, with like 400 watts. And then I look at his site there, and he has a 200-foot rotating tower with 4 beams on it, but 4 20-meter beams spaced and fed together.
Well, obviously he's a DXR contester. That's what that's geared for. But I wrote that information down. I'll look at his site later. It sounds like something else.
Yeah, I did. I don't believe there's a picture of the rhombic. Of course, it's just wire. But my goodness, what a signal! No, and it's spaced right up here.
There's a few of those guys around that you hear once in a while that have got a couple thousand feet of wire out in the air on telephone poles or something. And they always sound good.
Well, the gentleman that popped in on 160, you've been talking to. I'm looking for his call here.
I think it was K6JR, Jim.
Yeah, K6JR. Yeah, he has quite a signal. Yeah, Jim.
He said he had like 850 feet out. And he said when he had a couple thousand feet out, he couldn't work anybody locally on 160 meters. It was all ending up on the East Coast.
Yeah, don't really know what that's like with an antenna that's apex is at about 30-some feet.
Well, I guess if I wanted to be a 160-meter DXer, I would want that, but I really want it for close-in work here anyway. I don't really... It'd be fun, but I really need it for what we do.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. That's the way I feel about all my antenna heights. They're really where I want them to be for the type of communications that I do. If I were a DXer, I'd want it higher, and really even Jim's stuff isn't high enough.
No, but that's what we have the high bands for when they're open.
Yeah, 160, you need to be a half wavelength, so that would be like 260 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's why you really need to just have a 200-foot tower or something and hang a vertical off it. That guy, Tom in the Highlands there, the contest station, what he does for 160 is he has a 200-foot tower, and I think he's got also like a 100 or 150-foot tower. I'm not sure what the second one is. And he has a line strung between them. And for the 160-meter contest, they run a vertical where the top of the antenna is 200 feet in the air. And then he has counterpoises, radials on it. It works pretty well.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of learned something from my buddy up in Pollock Pines. It was 160-meter contester most of the time, but he tried everything. He was a real antenna experimenter, and we'd have multiple antennas and phasing lines between them and switch them. For gain, he had multiple beverage antennas for receive. But he found that for DX, the vertical that he'd string between trees that had a big top hat on it, all wire. So it was supported. His property was like a park. Everything was cleaned out except for the trees he wanted to keep. And the base of the antenna was probably, where the radios were probably 20 feet in the air. And I think it only had four big radials that went off, tuned radials. And then the vertical element went straight up, and then it had a top hat that was also supported between the trees. You know, and so there was lots of lines supporting all this stuff, but I don't know how far it went up. I guess it was around 100 feet. And that's what he used to transmit. That's what worked the best. You know, and I have this big vertical here like you used to have. And I find that, you know, when you start looking at the long-distance communications, it's pretty hard to beat that antenna unless you've got a big beam. You know, the vertical really shines.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of the guys I work on 75 meters on the way to work in the morning, I think 3 or 4 of them now have these receiving loop antennas like what Sue uses, and they run separate antennas for transmitting and receiving, mostly so they can null out the noise and hear the weaker signals. And
way to go, because there's, you know, noise is so prevalent.
yeah, and they're pretty inexpensive too, you know. I'd be interested in something like that for pretty much for 40, 80, and 160 meters, just a receiving loop.
Yeah, you don't really need it much other places, but it would be nice to have that option, and I've actually thought about it here, you know.
They don't need to be very high off the ground, which makes them attractive. You could put one on top of a 10-foot post with a small antenna, you know, a TV antenna rotator on it, and it seems to work really well.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it, John. Let's get a couple and start experimenting.
Well, I know for me it might be helpful, especially when there's noise, if I can null the noise out. But having a lot of antennas, like I do, a lot of wire antennas, I find that by switching between them, I can null out noise on the, you know, the more directional ones. On this band, I actually can switch over and use the 40-meter ZEP, which for the most part to me is almost useless. Just very rarely does it pick signals up, but boy, does it null the noise.
Well, that earns its keep right there then.
Yeah, I'll switch in between them. I was doing it the other day when it was raining. And although the signal level drops dramatically because it's not tuned to the correct band, the noise drops more.
Yeah, that's the value. I'm kind of interested in doing this. I'll probably at some point will do that, especially since I have a transceiver that has a second receiver in it now. That might be kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah, I noticed this month in, what is it, QST, they have, I guess, it's not DigX Engineering, it's one of those other things. They have a little board or kit they sell for switching and protecting those loops when you're transmitting.
Yeah, that's all you need to protect it.
Yeah, the front end of it needs to be protected. I think Sue's doing that. There's I don't know if she shuts it off or something with transmission or something like that.
I think she told us that it shuts off the preamp in the loop, and also maybe grounds the antenna lead on it or something on transmit, maybe. It works off the PTT switch of the transceiver.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
Yeah, nice way to do it. That way you can't accidentally mess anything up.
Yeah, where I'd put it is quite a distance away from most of the antennas. Yeah, 160, it would be on the other end of the property over here.
Yeah. I wonder if those loops actually tune down that low. I don't know if they do or not. I know they go down to 75.
I think they go down to the broadcast band.
Maybe interesting to know how well they work down there on 160 then.
Oh boy. I think they do, but I would think it'd have to be at least 3 feet in diameter.
I was thinking it might have to be bigger than that, but I don't know.
Well, not necessarily. Depends on how many turns are in the loop and, whether they run, wire inside the loop. Because I've made loops, so of course I've made them for finding metal in the ground, But same principle, really.
Well, I guess as long as the circuit is tuned where you want to listen to, and there's enough capture area to... Is it a matter of efficiency in the capture area, or how does that work?
Well, the signal's going to be way down, especially those lower bands, so you need a very good low-noise amplifier. And that's pretty easy to do today, especially at those frequencies. So, they just amplify the signal, and of course then you need to protect that one if you're transmitting close by, because they're very high Q.
Yeah, that's why they're so narrow.
Yeah, that's how it really works. So I might look into it more, and I could see myself doing that to improve signal levels.
Yeah, it'd be a simple project and it'd be inexpensive. So if it would improve signal levels, I think I'd be interested in doing it too.
Yeah. Well, my wife delivered breakfast to me, which is a real treat. I usually make my own. So I'm going to go off and eat that, come back in the house with her, and it's been great talking to you this morning, Dan, and it's kind of interesting to hear the direction that Danny's going, and I certainly hope that he has fun with it.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm glad to see him being able to enjoy it and get to play with it. Yeah, me too, John. I was just getting ready to go make breakfast for my wife and I. She's going to work today, so I'm going to go make us breakfast. Have a good day, John. Great talking to you. I will look for you in the morning, 7-3, W6DAX, KM6CQ.
Oh, and I'll listen to the audio that you've got on here.
Good. You can listen to me double with you then, too.
Ah, perfect.
All right. Have a great day, John. It's been fun. W6DAX, KM6CQ.
Yeah, you too. W6DAX is clear.